Over the weekend, the official Sea of Thieves Twitch channel hosted a live stream in which a snow globe, known as the Orb, returned. But this time, there was a twist. Instead of the Orb staying at Ancient Spire Outpost in the Unicorn, this time the Reaper's Bones had plundered it, seeking its all-knowing power. Previously, the Orb had teased content for the start of the year in 2022 and Season 8 at the end of the year, so we can expect a mix of seasonal content and adventures this time round. It predicted the Sea Forts, the Shrouded Islands, Forts of the Forgotten, Shrouded Deep, Lost Sands, Legend of the Veil, and the Sea of Bones update. So let's get into these teasers. In the first cutscene, we see the Reaper's heist for the Orb, where it eventually ends up in the Reaper's lair. Some have speculated that A Pirate's Life Part 2 has been confirmed by this, although I think it's just a callback to the line. We know Mike Chapman is a huge Disney fan, so it's likely just that influence shining through. The exact line is, "I see within you, Relic. Dead men will always have tales to tell." This is a reference to the line from A Pirate's Life.
The truth lies before you. In this place, dead men will always have tales to tell.
This doesn't confirm it or deconfirm it, but I'm going to need more proof that it is coming later this year. The first teaser is very clearly hinting at what's coming in the Secret Wilds, which is the next adventure, and lets us know what we'll be doing in it. This features the Reaper Parrot heading over to North Star Seapost, with Suds supplying the crew with a piece of parchment. It also shows Briggsy's mask, hinting that the mask is the key to following in her footsteps. Suds is keen to help the crew as he still pines after his old captain. It also confirms that Briggsy never found the cure, which we sort of knew before this. It probably is the weakest of the teasers, but it does set up the following adventure, Adventure 12, and we don't have that much long to wait until we realise what this is about. Teaser 2 is much juicier. It looks to be teasing the climax of this arc, where Adventure 11 will conclude with us finding an old portal to the Sea of the Damned left by the Ancients. Belle is at Sunken Grove and meets up with one of her ancient priest friends. The temple that the gateway leads to supposedly has the curse and the cure. The servant seems to think the curse was a way to test if you deserve to move on to the Sea of the Damned. The Sea of Tribute is the Ancients' term for it. The temple itself supposedly has trials, where players will likely have to run through it to get the cure for Tasha. I can certainly picture this being like a gauntlet found in the Shores of Gold, and that makes me very excited. At the end of the temple, this may be a further portal to the ancient city, one supposedly made of gold and quite possibly the location which the crew of the Morning Star visit in the Heart of Fire novel. This teaser has me pumped and sounds like we're getting a meaty adventure to finish this arc. At the end of this one, we see Briggsy hop out of the portal. This doesn't mean that she's working with the Reapers, all the items displayed here are just reminders of what's coming later in the year. Teaser 3 is possibly the most interesting for everyone. The servant wants to know what Ramsay's plan is now that Captain Flameheart has been revived. So the parrot heads over to Old Sailor's Isle, the island where the maiden voyage occurs. Ramsay is pondering his next move in his bid to defeat Captain Flameheart. It turns out he's organising pirate guilds for each of the legacy companies and Athena's fortune in an effort to unite pirates against Flameheart. The servant remarks that those who sail together will learn, in time, they shall fail together. The tease here moves away from the adventures. I firmly believe this is our Season 9 content. In the 2022 roadmap, Season 9 was slated as launching earlier this month, but with all the delays in 2022, it will now be launching in early March. The roadmap stated we would be getting more social options for crews, and this certainly fits with those vague feature sets. I'll be interested to see if the Reapers will benefit from those features, as giving these features to the other 4 companies and forcing you to be a part of those would contradict the roleplay stuff built in 2022. I personally would not want to join any of those guilds, and I know many of you in the comments wouldn't either. How do you guys feel about this? I hope we see items to earn, social spaces, and crew finding abilities in Season 9, but would argue it needs more than just this to sustain players for 4 months. It depends how expansive the feature is though. Teaser 4 is the most cryptic, and for good reason. This one has stumped a lot of people, but it's pretty sick. The parrot heads over to New Golden Sands, soon to be renamed Port Merrick, to see Merrick overseeing the building activities. But in a massive twist, a member of Athena's fortune is an imposter and is working to destroy them from the inside. They're represented by this little rat here. And we don't know who this is yet, but the servant is told by the orb who this is. The servant isn't surprised but states the legend the orb speaks of can rot in his prison. Therefore, we can kind of assume it's a main character and it's a male, so Bella and Gloria are ruled out. I think it's obvious considering someone who's just been locked in a prison, someone who might feel a bit of discontent with the Pirate Lord and Athena's fortune. The final teaser is my favourite. This time we're going to the Tavern of Legends, up to Ramsay's little office. Here lies the Sword of Souls, left behind by Sir Arthur Pendragon. The servant reiterates that the blade is tainted with fire, which aligns with a new prophecy that we've not heard of yet. The prophecy foretold is that the burning blade is now made of steel and fire, the king's rightful heirloom, the only thing that will bring Ramsay to his knees. This is a great teaser, as it could suggest that the Sword of Souls is now this blade, and we can see a similar unreleased sword in a Season 8 loading screen. Or it could literally mean the burning blade and the imposter is seeking the remains of the ship. I think this is the second time we have possible parallels between the Ancients and Captain Flameheart. The first is the time of resurrection befitting both Flameheart and the Great Warrior. And now the second prophecy might suggest the King of the Ancients' heirloom is the Sword of Souls. The Sword of Souls will now be a burning blade. And the King of the Pirates' heirloom is the burning blade vessel, aka Flameheart's ship. If Pendragon is the traitor, the Sea of the Damned may be the best place for him to seek the burning blade. The servant does make reference to finding a new Duke, a callback to Duke previously being one of his father's followers. This suggests the new traitor will be goaded into becoming a new lieutenant in Flameheart's ranks. Rare has done this deliberately to keep us on our toes. I'm sure, however, this tease relates to one of two things. One could be our next decision, which should land around May to June next year. I'm putting my neck on the line, and I think this will be a voyage for both Athena's fortune and the Reaper's bones, similar to Legend of the Veil. This will be where players scramble for an artifact, with each side trying to get a hold of it for their faction. On one final note for this teaser, the cat defending the sword could be Trouble. For those who don't know, Trouble is the Catman's cat. She was returned to the Catman at the end of the Tales from the Sea of Thieves book by the Servant of the Flame. The concept art is similar, but not exact. You do have to remember that these cutscenes are all reused assets, which would explain why they're not exact. Finally, to finish the orb stream, the voices inside reveal who they are. The orb is an ancient prison, for banished individuals who are not allowed to enter the Sea of the Damned. They could be any number of undesirables, like the Sea King, the Eternal Guard, or the priests that try to join the two worlds together. But this does confirm the evil ancients are still around, and the servant is all too happy to make them the oracle for their new king, Captain Flameheart. And that wraps up the teasers for Sea of Thieves 2023. We got some adventure teasers, seasonal content, and so much more by the seams of it. I'm so hyped for another year and I can't wait to discuss all the details with you as we head into 2023. Are you excited about 2023 for Sea of Thieves? Let me know down in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks again for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.